Even the Turkish president said that the economic ties and trade, that was the primary issue discussed between the two presidents in Sochi today. And of course, the two sides have been working on fully restoring their ties after they were severed following the shooting down of a Russian fighter jet in November 2015. However, some restrictions still remained, even though the two sides have been working on normalization of their relations for a while now, especially in agriculture and in tourism. And this is what the two leaders were discussing today, on fully restoring their ties in trade and in economy. And certainly the two presidents have already met in Moscow in March, so very recent indeed. And today they were talking about the progress of those agreements made at that meeting in March. And of course, as you mentioned, Syria is also another big issue that were discussed today. And in fact, the two presidents made some statements about this. They said that they will try to resolve the issue of Syria as soon as they can. They said that both of them will make efforts in establishing ceasefire in Syria. And of course, Russia, Turkey and Iran, they say they're guarantors of ceasefire in Syria. And many of these discussions that were raised today in Sochi, they will also be brought to Astana, where a fourth round of talks of peace negotiations on Syria are taking place. Also, the Turkish president called saboteurs those who carried out the chemical attack on 4th of April in Syria, and he said that those who were behind that attack must be brought to justice. And also, the two presidents spoke about establishing safe zones in Syria. That is also what Vladimir Putin discussed with Donald Trump in his phone call on Tuesday. And well, Vladimir Putin said that Trump supports the idea of safe zones. Moscow has already consulted Damascus, and the sides will now work on a mechanism to establish those safe zones.
Yeah, just on the issue of safe zones, Julia, because I know that that is something that has come up and has been presented by Russia as something they would like to achieve. Mr. Putin has spoken about the establishment of safe zones, but it is quite problematic, isn't it? The Syrian rebels have a lot of questions about that.
Absolutely. It is too early to say if that's possible to establish those safe zones. And of course, the sides will now have to discuss and plan how this could be done. Of course, the two presidents today in Sochi, they said that they negotiated together those safe zones on a map. But of course, it's all just the beginning of this huge process. And now the sides, Russia, Turkey and Iran, will work on a mechanism. So it's still a long road before those safe zones can actually be established due to many difficulties, of course.